Born and raised, Mililani, Hawaii, Mililani Malka. We have a little joke, the Malka boys.
Okay, okay.
So me and my neighbors.
So we got the Kaneohe boys with the 4-4. What's the Mililani one?
It was just Malka boys. We just threw up the MB.
Oh, okay,
We're MB proud,
MB.
but it was all positivity. But it was funny because we had all our boys in the neighborhood, and we just laughed about it because, of course, in Mililani, there's Valley boys, there's Nob Hill, there's Hanalani boys. I heard a bunch, within the Mililani area. So Malka boys rep strong, and we took pride in, football on the road, baseball, or wiffle ball, little basketball, pickup basketball as well. But it got competitive on the Malka streets.
Okay. So what was like your main sport growing up? Was it always football, or did you bounce back between other stuff?
I played it all growing up. I honestly loved baseball growing up. We played in YPO, but a lot of Mililani boys were on that team as well. But I loved baseball growing up. I'm pretty shit rotten at basketball. Really not my sport, but
that's fun. It runs in your family.
I know, it's wild, but just wasn't my thing.
Okay.
It's just funny. We always laugh about it. And then football, of course, just has always been something I loved and enjoyed. But as I got older, baseball was getting slower, and football was like fun and that rush.
Yeah.
So naturally, I chose that, and shoot, now we're here.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's super cool. Were you always a quarterback?
I wasn't. I played a little running back, played a little receiver, safety, the whole nine. Everyone kind of played everything. Yeah. But then when I was like 10 or 12, like in that range, that's when I truly started playing quarterback. And we, our Manoa Paniolo's team, we kind of loaded up. We knew that there's going to be a ESPN Wild World of Sports, like a Pop Warner Super Bowl. So we loaded up the Manoa Paniolo's team, and, that's when we won, like the Hawaii side.
Oh, okay, nice.
And then flew up to go play in that. So that's when I started, and I knew I was like, hey, I want to play quarterback. And of course my dad playing, so always watched him, always wanted to, but then once you go do it, it's just different, of course.
Yeah. Did you ever feel pressure because your dad had a really good college career?
He never put that pressure on us. I think everyone would joke around about it. But I just looked at it as like fun, like something to chase, and of course, naturally you want to beat him. And what he did, but
yeah, I mean, you did. I think you have but 13,000 more passing yards than him.
Yes, but like the fun of it too is like sharing the relationship now, and like football being our passion and the conversations, and naturally it just always comes up. But we get to share that together, which is special. Like growing up the coach, but he's also my dad, and then now transitioning into this, it's like it's a relationship you're happy about and grateful for, because that's what you got to share growing up.
Yeah. And it's cool because your younger brother is a senior here at Mililani.
Yep.
And he's also a great athlete.
He is.
In a different sport, right?
Bro, he got all the height too. I don't know how, but he's a tall Filipino boy. But no, he watched me a bunch too. And, I think obviously him following after me, I think he just fell in love with basketball. He played a little football too, but obviously he got the basketball genes as well. He can shoot lights out, and I try to guard him now too, but I can't because the guy is pretty strong now too. So
he little brothers you.
Sometimes he can dunk, you know what I mean? So we still get competitive regardless.
Yeah. Can you touch rim? How's your vertical?
I can grab rim, but I can't dunk.
Oh, okay.
But Roman can definitely dunk and do all that.
It's cool that he got to experience your career. You can experience his career,
for sure.
And then you guys can both experience your own careers on the next level together too. So I think that's super awesome,
for sure.
So you're Mililani grad, Trojan for life.
Yep.
But what was your whole high school playing career like?
Yeah, so going back from 7th to 8th grade, I went to Puno, and during that time I met Zoe, my fiance. But it's funny because she always says that's why I went to Puno, is to meet her. But
I believe it.
Just throughout that time, right? Wanted to play quarterback, was told some different things, and I was young. I still believed in what I wanted to do, and of course, naturally, paying tuition, you see it, affect families in different ways. And I felt bad having family sacrifice for me and my goals, and knew that I could accomplish that right here at Mililani, and Of course, I didn't go to public school, growing up until high school. But when I made that decision, it was the best decision of my life,
Yeah.
and having my dad being my coach, Coach Rod, a believer in me as a person and a player. But then there's just something different, and there's your friends and people you're playing with, your teammates, just in your community. You can hang out with them, like after school, like
Yeah. You
bro,
actually
all
want
those
to
yes,
hang out with them.
all those stories. Like I look back and I'm like, bro, like I just wouldn't have been able to experience it if I didn't go to Mililani, and I think for anyone, education is what you make of it, and of course the environment will help, but I think naturally the cream always rises to the top, and the people that want something and see a vision and a dream come true through work, it'll come wherever you're at,
Yeah.
in life.
Well, if you're talented enough and your hard work matches that,
Yep.
which I think happened with you, because it's crazy that you went from private to public, because that's super rare.
I know.
It's always the private, the Punahous, the Iolani, the St. Louis, recruiting all these
Yep.
kids from Kahuku and
Yes.
like Manti, right? He was Kahuku boy, got recruited to Punahou.
Yep.
And you did opposite. You're like, I'm just gonna go public school. Like, oh, golden water fountains, buffet lunches. Nah, I'll just go with the little porta potties here at Mililani.
It was
sorry, was not porta potties, urinals.
it was a shell shock in that way, because you see the difference between the two, and it is a big drop, and that's partially why I've been so inspired to do what I do, and bring others with me, and trying to see a vision that just promotes positivity in educational space.
Yeah.
And I think I saw my growth as a player, but also as a person in college with those resources, whether it's a weight room, a training room, even as little of just the environment you're in, and taking pride in that. I just knew that if you're able to bring that at a high school level and the growth you can make, like so many kids are going to college because of athletics.
Yep.
And I think, any way you can continue to do that to, get Hawaii athletes out there, there's so much benefits to getting your education paid for, furthering your education, chasing a dream and a goal, and learning about yourself on that journey. Like that's all I want for, everyone as guys growing up,
Yeah, and I think you're doing a great job at inspiring a lot of people, especially the public school kids, because I'm a public school kid,
Sure.
from Hilo,
Yep.
moved to Kaiser my senior year, still public school. It's like how people view Kaiser, the public private school, whatever.
Yep.
But I've never had like the Kamehameha experience or like the Punahou experience. Even just coming over here and seeing the new training room with the little ice bats and everything. I'm like, dang,
Gotta
I didn't
hop
have
in.
nothing. We had ice on our legs wrapped around with saran wrap. That's what we had.
Me too.
So it's cool that you can inspire. Like you don't need to go to these prestigious schools to make it. And it's the same with college. It's like the people going from like a small school and still get drafted. It's an inspiring story, because not everybody has either the financial funds to let them go to those certain places, or just like the resources or family or friends. So it's cool that you can do it just going to public school and become the all-time passing charge leader in Hawaii State football history.
And the truth is too, people are going to do it, and if you can't afford it and want to take that on, then that's super great too, but I don't think that kids who maybe don't have that opportunity financially, or maybe just don't want to do it and want to stay in their community, I feel like they should have the same amount of resources, and of course, me doing what I'm doing here at Mililani is the sample size, and wanting to show a vision that, of course, can be adopted throughout the whole state. But I think naturally with anything, you got to be able to show it and make things, come into fruition, and that's what we've been doing. So it's like it's fun to watch. It's fun to be a part of. A lot of work that goes into it, but I enjoy that. Like I enjoy ripping it down to the studs and seeing it when like nobody wants to see it.
Yeah.
People see the product, and of course, it's cliche. Like everyone doesn't necessarily see the process, but it's the fun part for me, because you see it all slowly come into what it is now. And I think when we look here down the road in 5 years, like this will be small compared to what we have
Yeah,
done, you know?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, right now is like the worst thing that you'll ever do. You know, I think every next episode of the podcast, every next training, practice is always going to be better than the next
100%.
one. And like having that mindset helps you move forward and continue to grow instead of just like, I'm good with just this.
For sure.
Yeah. I'm good with just staying at our studio and like interviewing a Pop Warner quarterback. Nah, I'm gonna come to Mililani High School and talk with the all-time state leading passer, the all-time career game starter in college football history.
I played a bunch.
You played a bunch, 6
Played a
years,
bunch
right?
yes.
Yeah.
Bunch of
I
football.
missed. Like I was telling you on the podcast, I missed your high school career because I was in the Peace Corps in Madagascar for 3 years. So when I came back, all I was hearing was about this like Dillon Gabriel guy and this Mackenzie Milton guy, like all these stories of like you two and how Mililani's so good. And I'm like, Mililani's good? Why would it happen?
I love it.
Yeah, so you ended up graduating here, had an amazing career, Gatorade Player of the Year, all those things that, the best people have. And then you ended up going to UCF, but you were actually going to go somewhere else before that. And I know you've already shared that story a million times, but maybe just give us a little like Spark Notes version.